I was always kind of chasing something. Right? I was chasing like a job. I was chasing an idea. I was chasing, some ideal that I had that I thought that, if I can get there, life's gonna get pretty good. I wanted to live in a big city. I wanted to have a lot of fun, and I also, I think there was a lot of like ego in it too. I wanted to go to, I wanted to go to the Big Apple. I came here. I was working a ton of hours, and as I think a lot of us can identify with, is that I found friends in different places, and I think one of the places that I used to love to go and make friends was the bar. Since I found that habit in my life was becoming so much bigger than everything else in my life, that I was putting that habit. I was putting my love for partying, my love for going out and connecting with people, at the bars, and whether or not it was at the bars or at home, really before everything else. That to me was that was really the reason I was living. New York became it became a fun place, but it became a really, really sort of dark and lonely place as well. I got to the point where life was getting pretty boring. It was getting pretty dull. There were a lot of things that I was really wrestling with. I was struggling with, misery, not really liking the man that I was becoming. Kind of wondering. I was getting up in the morning. I was looking at myself and I was thinking, how did I get here? I don't know exactly how I got here, but I'm here. I'm certainly here, and I've arrived in a very strange place in a foreign land. I had hurt my back doing things that, doing the stuff, the CrossFit stuff, and I had an injury that was, really kind of left me unable to walk for, a couple months. And it was during that time that, all the things that I gained self-esteem with, that I had some pride in, that I had, had just such control over my life, were being taken away from me really against my will. So, I had a friend who gave me, some really important books. I started reading Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. I started reading, a lot of books on theology, and I became just really, really enamored with this idea of becoming a new person, this idea of being born again. When I could physically get up again, I went back to church, and I went there, and I introduced myself, and people came up to me and saw that I was obviously new to church, and then I got plugged in. I ended up becoming parts of community groups and getting joined in with community there. I was soon baptized at that church, and it was really in being baptized that it was a public affirmation of what I believed in, and that really 3 years ago, that really set the course for my life, and it was in doing that one of the amazing things that I look back on is that in all that darkness and in all that that period of life where I was turning all the things that were certainly just eating me away as a person. God never let go. I had to have something else happen in my life. I had to have a power enter my life that was so much greater than me, to redeem me out of that behavior and redeem me out of that past, and really was just kind of like a gigantic snowball that I could never stop, and be able to pick me up and set me over here and say, this is your life now. I think my life that I thought of when I was a kid was like, yeah, just work hard, just kill it, go out there, do really, really good, and then that's a good life, man. Get some stuff, and then but really where it is now is that there's so much more to it. The service aspect of life, the engaging in community, the fellowship with other Christians, and just the pure gospel enjoyment are things that don't go away. If anything, I found that the more and more that I dove into the dark stuff, the more that it consumed me, and the more that it took away from me. This, on the other hand, this is like a fountain of joy that you just get to tap into. The more that you give to it, the more that it gives back to you, and it's really an incredible thing. Like I mentioned, it's just one of those things that I would have never pictured for myself.